you ready?
I'm ready. You ready?
Good evening, everyone. This is Michael C. Voice, broadcasting live from Hollywood, California. This is Last Night's Show with Miz Meliz. Tonight's guests are Tawanna Browne Smith from Mom's Guide to Travel, Carew Papritz, the award-winning author of The Legacy Letters, and Live Your Daydream with Ashley Katchadourian, a.k.a. Ash Catch, a.k.a. AK-47. And now, with our co-host and producer, Cindy Harrison, and our new associate producer, Anna Rounseville, here is the awesomely amazing Melissa Reyes.
Hi, everybody. I don't know if I'm awesomely amazing, but thank you so much for being here on Last Night's Show with Miz Meliz. That's me. I'm Melissa Reyes, and I am so excited to be here with you and Cindy Harrison. Are you here, Cindy?
Hi, I'm here. How are you?
I'm here. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Where are you, Cindy?
In New Hampshire, still. My clean studio.
It looks gorgeous.
Not really. I love green screens, huh? You can put you anywhere. Look at you. You're at the top of the tallest building in LA.
I know. I'm hanging on. I'm hanging on to the edge. It's so beautiful up here. Anyway, well, welcome to Los Angeles, East Coast, West Coast. We have some wonderful guests for you tonight. I can't wait to introduce you, so I'm not going to. Tonight, I have with me the wonderful Tawanna Browne Smith. Hi, Tawanna. How are you?
How are you? Nice to see you.
I'm so excited to meet you, Tawanna. Now, I met Tawanna on Twitter with FlipBiz Chat, but she's also got this video planner thing. Tell us about it, Tawanna.
So, I do a lot of things. But yeah, so I do a lot of live videos, and I thought that it was important as a person who does live video to create a planner for myself, an editorial planner. And I shared it with a friend of mine, and it has like a bunch of workflows in it, a bunch of different things. And my girlfriend said, I think you should sell that. So it's, actually a strategy book at the very beginning for people who are interested in using live video to help with marketing, whatever it is, whether they're a coach, whether they're, an entrepreneur, whether they, I don't know, it doesn't matter. Whatever they're using video to market their business, it just kind of walks them through setting strategies, setting goals, and then different workflows that I use to basically, share my live videos across various platforms. Because a lot of times, I would get overwhelmed with the process, and I know people get overwhelmed with processes. And as I was trying to explain things to my virtual assistant how to do certain things, I found myself creating these workflows for her. And then I was like, oh, well, this would be good to put in my planner as well. And, a script for people who don't know what to say sometimes when they get on video, as well as actual editorial calendar and an episode worksheet so that they can break down their episodes. And then that's how this planner came about.
A video planner, that's great.
One idea turned into 152 pages.
Yeah, yeah, wow. That's
and
great. Sorry, I just was so excited because you are like the travel guru too, and we have some other guests I want to introduce really fast, and we'll come back to that because we've got also Carew Papritz, who's the author of The Legacy Letters, who has traveled the world talking about his book, and we have Ashley Katchadourian, who's actually here from Sydney, Australia, who is a travel entrepreneur. So here's Carew. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
Well, Melissa, I gotta tell you, once again, it's great to be on all your shows simultaneously. I love it. She's got the best energy on the planet.
Thank you.
And it is so cool. So I basically have a book out. It's called The Legacy Letters. It's an award-winning book, inspirational series of letters written by a father who never lived to see his kids. And these letters become a practical, moral, spiritual guidebook for the rest of their lives. And I've been fortunate because this book, I've been able to sort of walk my talk. The central message of the book is how to live life to the fullest. And I've taken it out on the road a bit and done these really unusual book signings, such as signing on the top of a volcano, on the back of horses, on whistle-stop tours around the country, in go-karts of all things. My gosh, we just recently did one in Cuba, the first American author to do a book signing in Cuba post-Castro, and we were just talking about it before the show. We did what was the first book stomping, take that back.
No.
Great stomping while signing books.
Wow.
So that was lovely up in the state of Washington, so my old home state. So anyhow, it's been an interesting journey. I love promoting reading for kids, for adults, of course, for everybody, and promoting charities while I'm doing it.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Now, I enjoyed reading this book aloud on our interview when we talked on inspiring adventures, and that aired this week on Bubbler Media on Tuesday, so you can scroll down when you're finished here with last night's show if you haven't gotten enough of myself and Carew, and watch that. Of course, it's on YouTube, and it was a really great interview, and that's the second time this is the third time that I've had a Carew on my show, because the first time was when he was on my show Tinseltown over a year ago, right? That was so
last show. It was a great show.
Yeah, he was on my very last episode of Tinseltown. I was about ready to throw in the towel and not do any more interviews. I was like, I'm so tired of this. I'm going to start doing something else. Then we got to talking, and he inspired me to start Inspiring Adventures. And he was now my first interview for this year for that. So
very cool.
I have to thank you for that again. I really do appreciate that. And now look at me. Now look at me. Now look at me, because now I met Tawanna on Twitter, and I met Ashley, who's our next guest I want to introduce you to, on the Anchor app. Ironically enough, she doesn't even, I don't know if she knows this. I heard her in an interview from Mike Thorpe, who's going to be a guest next week. And Ashley, tell us a little bit about that interview and why he interviewed you and how you met. So this is Ashley Katchadourian, everybody.
Hi. Yeah. So actually, I met Mike on Twitter. Also, I feel like a lot of the connections that I have and a lot of the people that I meet that also have connections, it's all through Twitter. So I love that platform to meet people. So I met Mike through Twitter, and I was his first ever episode on his podcast. So it's just like, he was just interviewing me on what I'm up to, similar to what I'll be explaining here. So what I'm all about, I guess, is like at the beginning of 2017, I decided that I really wanted to like make a change in my life and start pursuing the things that had been in my heart for a while. So I decided to move to Sydney, Australia. There's like a visa where you can live here and work here for a year. So moved here sort of for adventure and to build my personal brand. And it was around the same time that I started my YouTube channel as well. So I had a heart to sort of share a message of sustainability and doing what you loved. And I didn't know how to really, I didn't have an outlet for that. And so when I thought, how could I do this? I love video. Maybe I'll just start a YouTube channel where I can like share, dip my passions and things like that. So at the beginning of last year, I started traveling, and then I started working with a festival called Rad Livin', which is created to inspire people to do what they love now instead of waiting for a time in the future. And it's half conference, sort of like TED Talks, and half music festival. So at the beginning of the day, there's like people speaking and telling you about how they came to do what they love. And then the next half is sort of like, there's like open bar and free food, and then musicians play, and it's
That's
just like a little
good.
Yeah, it's so fun. It's like the best thing. So I started working with that, doing the video and community management. And that's actually what I'm in the thick of doing again, because it's coming up in a few weeks here. So yeah, I've been working on that, and I got to travel Europe for the first time this year, and I've just sort of been like maturing in my video creating process. So that's sort of what I'm up to, is doing like a lot of video creation and doing community management for this festival. And yeah.
You might be able to use the video planner that Tawanna has.
I know. When she was explaining it, I thought, wait, I've never heard of something like this. It sounds really cool.
I know. It does sound cool.
Definitely going to look into it.
Yeah. And so, the three of you coming together, I mean, there's always a reason why we, meet, but it's just so fascinating to me. And I feel so close to all of you. And this is really like the first time today that Ashley and I spoke to each other face to face, if you will, and also Tawanna and I. So even though Carew and I have spoken at great lengths for hours and hours on, and this is the first time we've spoken to each other, and it's just, I just am so honored to have the three of you here, and I appreciate it so much. Cindy, what do you think of all of this? Because we met online too. Isn't this cool?
I think it's the best. I think it's so awesome because like tonight you introduced me to Carew, and I'm like, I know him because I've been watching him on your shows. He's never met me, but it does. It makes it's a more intimate. I think it's like you have friends all over the world, even if you've never met them in person. You know them, and I love it. I love social media for that reason.
Absolutely. The world is not as big as we think. We can reach out to somebody and learn so much from each other. And the word for the week this week is seek. And I have my card from my affirmations card deck right here. And we've been talking about it on Inspiring Adventures and on I did a podcast today with my Snap sister, Allison. And we have a little Snap Day spot and Melissa Inspiring Adventures kind of collab going on Anchor, and then I also have another podcast. Oh my gosh, I'm doing a lot. And then tomorrow we have Paint with Heart and Create This, and we talk about the theme of the week on everything. And the word for the week is seek. So on the card it says, always look ahead, keep moving forward. And I think everybody here has that attitude. What do you think, Carew? We talked about this a little on Inspiring Adventures. What can you share with us about moving forward and always looking ahead?
Seek. I guess that's it's interesting because in the writing of this book, this idea of leaving behind a legacy, because this is what this father is doing, it didn't occur to me that, and it was interesting what Ashley was talking about what this festival is about. And I thought that was fascinating because the conclusion I came to after a couple of years after having written the book was that legacy is not so much what you're leaving behind, but as how you're living now in the moment. And I think that really is, and I call it, you call that living a legacy or living in the legacy moment or however you want to choose to call it. And I think the most important takeaway, at least for me, with living that way is that you are really conscientious of truly being in the moment, with people, with your family, with I remember this is interesting. I remember a great conversation with the daughter of Miss Manners, the famous Miss Manners that was in the paper, and she was at she was out of Washington D.C. at that time, and she was in a room full of senators and representatives, all sorts of ambassadors and whatnot. And she was talking with this senator, and he said to she asked him, he says, "What's the most important thing in the world that I should learn from you?" And he said, "Look me in the eye and stay right here." And I thought that was, and she thought about it more and more and more, and she thought, absolutely. So there's this connection that we have with people, like listening to you and looking at Tawanna and looking at Ashley and looking at Cindy, being in the moment with all of you is so powerful. And I thought, we don't have anything to interrupt us except each other. And this is a great moment to be alive, being with you people, and for the first time. So this is a great moment to celebrate.
You speak so eloquently about mindfulness, and that is so wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate that. What about you, Tawanna? How do you feel about seek and looking ahead, yet staying mindful? just that topic is just so fascinating to me, especially for someone who's into planning.
Yeah. Well, so, and the other part of what I do, you touched upon it quickly, is the travel part of it. And so I've got a whole other story. So the video side of it is just one of the things that I do just because
She's traveling right now, folks. She's got friends and family in the background, so we got to go with it.
New York. I'm not in my regular studio in my house, so I'm like trying to do things to control noise.
That's fine.
So, but anyway, I used to be in theater, and so improvising is kind of I like improvise. That's
awesome.
And I tell people that all the time, clients all the time, just go with it. It's okay. You're human, right? We're all human. But one of the things, the thing that I am really most passionate about, and the reason why I actually started to even sell digital products, specifically as it comes to video, is because I would get on my live videos. I was actually talking about traveling, and I was talking about, being a writer for publications. I used to write for 10 Best USA Today and Travel Channel and, TripAdvisor, and I would really write about just traveling with kids. And real life situation happened where my 10-year-old, who's the one in the background making all the noise, when he was 4.5, he was diagnosed with leukemia. And, we were already going through autism with him. And my story is really how, as a mom, I dealt with that. How did I, continue to run my business, continue to stay sane and not have 50 million gray hairs, and keep my marriage going and raise my other son, and still manage to smile. And one of the biggest things for me was to travel. And it might sound counterintuitive that you would travel while your child is sick, but as the mom, the person who, was there pouring so much into him and keeping the family afloat, I knew that I had to fill up my cup, right?
Yes, and very good.
The noise,
yes.
the noise, for me, that's pleasure to my ear, because there was a point where he wasn't making noise,
right.
Where he was on a hospital bed listless and this close to death. And travel for me really was that therapy. It really was the thing as a mom that would feed back into my soul and get me to, here's that word, seek out who I am, and reconnect to who I am as a woman first, and fill up my cup, and then go back home and fill up his cup. And so I would actually talk about that. And so it's so funny how the whole the video digital products came about, because people wanted to know, well, how do you do that, while they were listening to the whole travel story. And so the flip side of what I do is really working with moms who are caregivers, but also maybe they work for companies, or maybe they're building their businesses and they're just trying to find clarity, but there's too much noise, there's too much going on in their life. And so I take them on retreats to go back and find themselves. I took some women with me to Costa Rica in the fall. And it's all about transformation. It's all about them seeking and finding themselves. It's all about them getting the clarity, because that's what I did in order to find that for myself. So Seek speaks to me.
Look at you, how you've done this for yourself, yet you're sharing with other people, and that's so inspiring. Thank you so much for sharing that with us tonight. I did not know that about you. That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. And Ashley, that leads me straight to what you're doing. Tell us more about their sustainability and how those efforts, how you started with those those local things that you're doing, that now that you're sharing with the world, your efforts, and how that seeking to change the world has affected you.
So I'd say it sort of starts in 2014 for me. That was when I had first graduated university and I was in my first big girl job.
Speaking of which, my son also went to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. just graduated.
Wait, how's this the first time we're talking about that?
I haven't
So
had a chance to
cool.
tell you yet.
Yeah,
but he just
yeah, I
graduated.
love that
So
school.
she
So
also went to
cool.
that.
Yeah.
That's the weird connection that we met the way we did, and that
That's-
you're actually kind of local.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Love that school. Love
Yeah,
that
it's
town.
awesome.
So I was in my first big girl job as an engineer, and I was like 3 months in, and I had to say to myself, Ashley, you've known for like pretty much your whole degree up until now that this just isn't your thing. It's time to pull the trigger to like seek for like what's actually meant for you. And so I'd had a passion for sustainability that was the reason why I got into the degree in the first place.
What was your
I studied
degree?
environmental engineering.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so the environmental part was what I really loved, and like the analytical side, people were recommending it to me, and so I was like, yeah, I'll try this out. And so by the end, by working at the big girl job, I said, okay, this just isn't for me. It's time to really find out like what you're meant for and what really like lights you up. So quitting that job was my first step to like seeking to find Ashley again. And it was like a series of just like small saying yes to what lit up my heart to get me to where I am today. Like the first thing was moving back home, and I worked for Dad, and I was sort of in this dark place of like, this still isn't really what I want, but I feel like I have a little bit more freedom. And then I really wanted to work for this clothing company called Patagonia, who is a sustainable outdoor apparel company.
Mm-hmm.
And they really inspired me. That story really inspires me still till today. And so I tried to work there, and then that's when I first heard about this festival where I'd live in. And so I decided to finance like a trip to Australia on my credit card so that I can go to this festival. And so I went to this festival, and then that completely like changed my perspective on a lot of things. And I was so grateful that I went, and that led me to moving back a year later. And until now, like it's a year after that where I feel like I'm in this really, I like have found, it took me from 2014 to now to really find my path. And I don't feel like what I feel like has changed from then until now is that the destination stopped becoming important to me, and the journey was the thing that I was hoping to finding the right path for me, because I feel like now that I'm here, maybe I'm not like financially as lucrative as I would like to be. I'm in a place where I feel like finally I found like where I'm meant to be. And so that journey of like seeking has been so beneficial for me. Just like not saying yes, not agreeing to these things that people like, these boxes that people try to put other people in, and finding it really hard to actually break out of that. But like being really grateful now that I didn't settle for the things that I had before, and said to myself, like, look, there's something bigger and better out there for you that's more aligned with who you are. And yeah, so I think like the sustainability thing is like a huge part of, like, I really would love to see the industry of production and like clothing manufacturing more sustainable. It's one of the biggest industries that are polluting the world. So yeah, I feel like 2018 is going to be a big year for me to really try to like figure out how to like start a sustainable clothing label.
Oh, neat. That's so neat. Well, I have to say that that might have been like the lever, the trigger to get you going, but you have an incredible skill for inspiring people, and you have a skill for, I don't know how you do your videos, but I'm going to share your intro video that you have on YouTube, okay? So everybody enjoy this little video right now from Ashley's YouTube channel.
I walked into my dad's office and I said, "Dad, I'm moving to Australia." Once you're on the path of saying yes to who you are, the world starts to open up to you differently. I feel good! Dear Ashley, not everyone is going to like you. Not everyone is going to support you. And people you care about won't even understand what you're doing. Over time, all of that will blind your vision, and at one point you'll feel buried, until the faint call of a daydream reignites a flame that puts the Ashley back in Ashley Katchadourian.
for sharing that.
Oh my gosh, Ashley, it's an incredible video, and that is just the one little one that I can share, but she has so many more. And it's just so touching to me when I first heard your story. And so I just see that, I don't know, you've really touched my heart. And I thank you so much for being here. I don't know what else I want to tell about. I just want the world to know who you are, because I think that they're going to hear more. So,
thanks, Melissa.
You're welcome.
Anyway,
no, I think they're really amazing. So, so tell us a little bit about what you're doing now in Sydney, before we get going, because we have a couple more minutes. We'll go around. Everybody's gonna say good night. It's so fast. Went by so fast. So what else are you doing now?
Yeah, so right now I'm in Sydney, Australia. My year visa actually got extended for another few months, so I'm here. Yeah, so I get to be here for a little bit longer, and like I mentioned a little bit earlier, we're getting closer to the festival being thrown. It's in March, so we're like really cracking down on ticket sales and collaborations and media and things like that. So that's going on, as well as I just started a new series on my YouTube channel called 12 Days of Clickbait, where for 12 videos I do something outside of my comfort zone that like all is in alignment with kind of my goals for 2018. Yeah, so the first video in that series is last week, and the next one's coming out this week.
That's great. Well, I'm so inspired by this young lady and all of you, and I'm like trying so hard. Today I did like my own little out of my comfort zone and did all these behind the scenes videos. That was really exciting. But they don't look anything like that. I don't know how you do that. Your editing is really amazing. So really cool. So I'm going to put, and I'm sure Anna is working on it right now, putting all the links so you can reach out and get to know these people. I met them just online. So if you're watching now and you want to get to know Ashley and Tawanna and Carew or myself and Cindy, just comment. And if you have any questions, if there are any questions, Anna, make sure you come on and let us know, because I haven't been monitoring the questions, but we'd love to answer them, and we will connect with you for sure. So got to check out the legacyletters.com and that planner for the travel, video planner with Tawanna, and Ashley's all her stuff that she's doing, the rad stuff. I don't know. I'm like so blown away by everybody right now. I can't remember all the details, but that's why I've got Anna and Cindy and Michael working behind the scenes to put all the stuff in the comments so you can connect with everybody. So thank you so much. I'm going to do this one thing and see if I can get everybody on screen. Hello, everybody. It's on screen right now, I think. And you can all say goodnight. And we got a couple minutes if you want to say a final goodbye. And Michael, you could come on if you want. And Michael is the voice of last night's show. I have to say thank you so much for being here. And so, Carew, what do you say? Would you like being on my show?
How
can you say no?
Oh my God. Do I love being on your show? I love being on your show. Are you kidding? I am going to take Seek. And you seek tomorrow and seek tonight. I'm going to seek goodness. I'm going to seek more love, wherever that may be, and peace. And I am seeking right now the fact that I am with some outstanding people. I am blessed to be with you all tonight. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
I wanted to do a little Instagram story. Can you guys all like say hi?
Yeah, totally. Okay. Oh my gosh, I love that.
Everybody say hi. Hi. Hi.
So excited. So awesome. So awesome. Well, thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for being on last night's show with Miz Meliz. We'll see you next week. We have more fabulous guests to bring you from all around the world, the social media and inspiring people. So you know that you are awesome. I don't know what else to say, but I'm going to do this. Good night, everybody. Lito and I are in front of the Magic Castle in Hollywood, California. It's gonna be a fun night.